Wisdom and understanding.
Greetings, everybody, my brothers and sisters. You're welcome to the Wounded Civilian Classroom, a classroom where we teach the people proper, a place where we believe in truth and justice. We don't care who it favor or against. My father always say, truth settle problems, So the truth is our religion here. So today we'll be talking about this that fraudster, Nnamdi Kanu, and his partner in crime, Ushemefo, and their terrorist group, IPOB. You see, those of you here, Igbos here, who still believe in that fraudster, Nnamdi Kanu, that he will give you Biafra. It's our responsibility to free you. Yeah. It's our responsibility to free you with the truth, to set you free with the truth. If you think through propaganda, taking my pictures, designing it, will make somebody like me to back down from telling you the truth, think again. we have been in this game for 20-something years. You have been doing that to Buhari, he's still alive. They did that to Jonathan, the same thing. To Obasanjo, they are even to Nnamdi Kanu. So, it's a waste of time doing that. I will continue to tell you the truth until you are free. You see, the Boko Haram, they believe in Muslim laws. They see themselves as Muslim, the real Muslim. And they believe you have to be under the commandment of Islamic law for you to be a real Muslim. So even a Muslim who think they have to leave some of these laws because of time have changed, they see their fellow Muslim who reason like that as their enemy too, just like those Islamic terrorists like Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, etc. They believe in their Islamic law. You must follow it letter to letter. So any Muslim that is not following it, or any Muslim who think they can reform the Islamic law, change something in it because time have changed, they see their fellow, then they see that Muslim just like the way they are seeing the infidel or the Christians. So whenever they want to kill, they don't care if you are a Muslim. As long as you don't agree to their Islamic law, they will kill you. They don't give a shit. They don't care. As long as you don't, to them, when you steal something, they will cut off your hand. When you blaspheme or you say things against their prophet, you must die. So any Muslim who feel, oh no, that is not enough to kill somebody, you are just like the infidel they are trying to kill. So that is those Islamic terrorists. That's how they think. That's how they behave. Whenever you say something against their prophet, against their religion, that's it. You're supposed to die. When you tell them it is not enough to kill somebody, it is not enough to kill somebody, you are just wasting your time. You that is trying to correct them, they will kill you too. Then, look at this IPOB. Is it not the same ideology? Like, for instance, let me go back to this Islamic terrorist group in Nigeria, Boko Haram, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, Asa Front, etc. When you say scangard against God, they see it as if, well, no problem, you are free. But when you say something against their prophet, Prophet Muhammad, they can kill you for that. Then, is it not the same with this IPOB? When you say something about God, those brainwash, sick IPOB for all those IPOB members, they don't give a shit. But when you just write something against Nnamdi Kanu, they can die. Is it not the same? Then why would you call the Boko Haram terrorists and you don't want to call the IPOB terrorists? They are the same ideology. They believe when a fellow Igbo man who believe in Biafra try to correct them, who believe in Biafra, fellow Igbo man, and the Igbos who call themselves the IPOB, if you try to correct them, just like our brother Ijele now, he's a Biafra man. If you try to correct these same Igbos who call themselves Biafra, to them he must die. Everybody must answer to them. When the law, the command from Nnamdi Kanu must give the command, every Igbo man must not talk. Don't argue. Don't just talk. Just obey, follow. That's it. Just like the Muslims. When you see, let's say for instance, you see the Boko Haram leader. Chikaro will say is going to cut whenever they want to kill infidel or people that don't believe in their people that are not Muslim, people they regard as infidel. First thing they do is to cut off their head. Mostly that's what they do. We all, even in Iraq, in Iran, wherever you see Muslim terrorist group, they cut off people, they cut your head. Just like they can threaten before, he's going to Abuja to go and cut Buhari's head. It is the same ideology. These people reason alike. Like, there must be a leader, everybody must listen to that leader. That leader will never do something that is wrong. He's always right. He will never do anything that is wrong. You don't have right to question him. Anything he says, you must follow. You see, some of these confused, stupid IPO members, they will come to my wall. Some of them will be calling me. But while they're making or asking me questions, I ask them, you are free now to call me. I pick your call. Have you in any way called your leader, the one you want to die for? Can you call him now? Can you just pick up your phone and call him? He will answer you. So you call me. I'm listening to you. I give you the opportunity to talk to me. You don't like it? Can you call him? They might say I'm nobody. So Nnamdi Kanu is the prophet. He might be a prophet to you. Did you think he's a prophet to us? We must continue to educate you. We will cure our grace. I said it before. I said, I preach. Some people still hold it against me that I was supporting this same. I'm coming. We'll talk about so many things today. I was supporting this group of people. I say, yes. I love freedom. I support Sowore. I don't support Sowore when he wants to be president because of the role he played that brought Buhari to power. I support another Igbo man, Kislin Omogalo. It's my choice. I heard that the same Chris Omogalo is working for APC now. Such as life. People change. People change. But what I'm trying to say is this. I support people that is fighting for freedom. I support people that fight for freedom. Sorry. You that is calling me, no calling now. No calling now. I support people that fight for freedom. Whenever somebody is fighting for freedom, you are my friend. It is my responsibility to give you all the support you want to succeed. Because I know freedom means good to me. It means good to me. But when I realize this group of criminals, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, they are going astray, I make a U-turn. When I realize they are going astray, I make a U-turn. I don't just make a U-turn and say, okay, I'm no longer with you people. No. I am fighting these criminals until they face the law. Because I know they are threat to the southern, this security in the south, the unity in the south. They are threat to our unity in the south. Nnamdi Kanu and his gang. They are of no good. You, because of you need freedom. You need freedom. I am from the south like you. Just like Igbo man will ask those IPO followers. You Igbo, me Igbo. You want Biafra, I want Biafra. But listen to me. They will say no. Just like me myself, I'm from the south. Minority. From the minority tribe. You are not the only one they are marginalizing. They are marginalizing me too. Marginalizing my tribe too. You must listen to us. I don't just make a U-turn and say I'm no longer with this Biafran IPOB nonsense. No, I have been fighting against them. I will continue to fight against them until we destroy that terrorist group, IPOB. Some people will ask me, You know, we are not against their Biafra. I don't know why they are some of those. I don't know where they are after our kingdom, after our king, after us. Are we the one that is holding them back? I say no. Telling these people like that, you are giving them more power. Tell them, I am after you. I will break you down. We are going to bring you down. IPOB is good. We are going to bury IPOB finally. That's the only way, the language they hear. And really, we mean it. We are against you now. The time will tell you, oh, we are not against you. No, we are not coward. We are not stupid. Me, wounded. I am against IPOB now. I'm against you and I must bring you down. You know, if you have been following me for 5-6 years now, you will know the part I support always win. I told you, I said, look, you want what is your enemy, right? But you must vote against that man. Foolishly, you said no, you don't want to vote. You want to cry forever. You want to cry. Buhari, that's last year. You want to, even though they rig it, even though Nigeria is a zoo, whatever, they call it animal country, call it monkey country, it's a zoo. As long as Buhari is your enemy, go and vote against that enemy first. Even though they rig it, say, okay, my own is to vote, and you rig it. If you don't vote, how can you accuse somebody that he rigged election? It is when you vote you can accuse them that they are rigging election. So few hours to the to election, this stupid boy now they can say, oh, you can go and vote, and your demand will be sealed and signed. You can insult me because I talk, but you can ask your master what was sealed and signed. Some of them will come to my wall and come and be telling me, is it Nnamdi Kanu? I put the Nigerian problem now. Why are you not talking about Nigerian problem? Oh, you know how to ask questions. Why can't you go and ask your leader what was sealed and signed last year? Just to ask what was okay. You IPOB followers now that is asking stupid question, asking me what that Nigeria IPOB the problem now? No, IPOB is my problem now. It's part of the problem now. All the chief security officers, they are all Fulanis, Muslim. And you have some terrorist group running around, Nnamdi Kanu's brother, threatening people, killing people. And you say IPOB is not our problem now? IPOB who insult elders, who insult traditional rulers, you say they are not our problem now? Carry that same question. Ask your leader what was sealed and signed. A day before, a few hours to election, your leader said no voting. You will not be part of the election. You will not vote. Few hours to election, he said go and vote. Your demand have been sealed and signed. Your demand have been met, sealed and signed. Go and ask him what was sealed and signed. You think you are clever than me? All these IPOB people. You guys are, God is with you alone. They will say, I will die, I will die. God is with you. You are the saints. Don't worry. The path I choose now to tell you people, if it is the wrong I choose the wrong path, I will suffer it, no problem. If it is the right path, at the end of the day, it is what you sow, you reap. You will suffer it. I will continue to tell you people the truth. I will not relent. No, carry my picture. Look, you guys, no. We are too big for that. We are the wounded. So let's go to the main topic of the day. You see, 2017, late 2017, I makes a video concerning this terrorist IPOB group, because now Ushemefo, Nnamdi Kanu, the fraudster, they are planning to join politics. I said, what? You guys are planning to join politics in Nigeria? I gave you this advice almost 3 years ago. You all were insulting me. Just like I said, Ekweremadu is not trying when I was agitating for these people, helping them, fighting to free this ingrate IPOB. You guys attacked me because I posted something against Ekweremadu. I posted something against Ekweremadu. All these animals here were raining insult on me, who promote them when you talk about social media. There was no Samelakba. There was no all these animals. None of them. I single-handedly, not even Ijele. I single-handedly from another tribe. I helped you people. I posted something, and you were raining insult on me. Some of the Edos, Urobos, Ishekiris, Esa, that is singing Hallelujah Biafra now. Learn from what they did to us. Your own will be worse. The day you will make them and say, oh, I don't like what you are doing now. Especially the ladies. You know what they will call you now. You know what they call ladies. You know what they call them. Don't worry. Insult your tribe for them. Destroy your own tribe for these animals. People who don't even respect others in their land. Insult your own tribe for them. Somebody come and tell me it is one Igwe in one village, or one Enoje in one village is the reason why things are not well. When you vote every day, every 4 years for governor, you send senator to Abuja, you vote for president, you want to put the blame on Igwe, one Igwe in one village, and you believe this story from the you are sick. If you cannot hold your politicians you voted into power. The governor you vote for, the senators you send to Abuja to represent you, your president who control everything in Nigeria, who read budget. You want to go and be attacking a Enoje in one village, who they are paying salary. You are sick now. You lack education now. No! It pains my heart. But we'll continue to educate you people. We'll continue to educate you people. They are trying now to go into politics. I said, what? Just like what I said before. I talked about Ekweremadu. You insulted me. It's not even up to 6 to 7 months. You were the one stoning Ekweremadu. I said I demand apology. Nobody apologized. I said, go and vote. Vote against your enemy. You said Buhari is your enemy. I said, then vote against your enemy. You said they wouldn't get. I said, I don't care. If you don't vote, you'll still be there. Then vote. Do something. You said no. They were insulting me. They were insulting somebody like me. Few hours to election, the fraudster asked them to go and vote. I said I demand apology. They did not apologize. The same thing they did to Fani Kayode, who fight for them. He posted something about Igbo will vote. Few hours to that election, they were raining insult on him. The same thing they did to Asari Dokubo. Magnus Oruka is there. That's what they do. You that is not Igbo now, keep insulting your people. Your people, insult your people. Now by force to join country. Now by force to join country. Ask yourself why they want everybody to join them. Ask yourself why you must join them. Go and do your Biafra. Why are you forcing everybody to come and join Biafra? Let me tell you, my father say, a good workman don't even need signboard. You don't even need that VAT. With your product, that's what Benin people say. Meaning to say, you don't need to force them. It's your character that will attract people to come. Your character, the way you do things, that will attract people to come. You are not good. You are corrupt. You are deceiving your people. How will people join you? You insult them, how will people join you? So, let me play you the video of this stupid boy, Ushimefo. He was my friend before. He blocked me because I keep telling him the truth. They blocked me. Let me play you Ushimefo. They want to go into politics now.
And so IPOB everything humanly possible to make sure that we go back to the original stage whence we started from. We are trying to identify who are our brothers, who are our sisters, who are our neighbors and associates. This is something that the contraption called Nigeria has carefully, through their agents over the years, destroyed and put confusion into our midst. But we're not going to allow that confusion to be sustained. For us to restore Biafra, we must identify the boundaries that is Biafran boundaries, Biafran territory, defined territory. And we are doing something in a very positive way in that direction. This issue must be looked into. Then there is the third one, which is effective government. Effective government. We must have a government that is called the government of Biafra. By implication, and put differently, the indigenous people of Biafra, the people of Biafra, should be in control of decision making in Biafra land, whether we like it or not. The reason why we decided and meticulously deviate from the temptation or parry the temptation of going into Nigerian politics is because if we do that, we will be destroyed forever. Because they set a trap for us. The system is corrupt. The system is not working. As you can see, your vote does not count. Nothing counts. They buy off voters. Even the Supreme Court of the zoo called Nigeria is now at the center of deciding election. Your so-called PVC does not count. And so, we refuse to be dragged into that mess. But we're not going to allow ourselves to be on that particular mindset for a long time. Nigerian political system is a very devilish one. They apply gutter methodology in dealing with individuals and groups there. And so, they have for so long capitulated on this because we say we don't want to do anything with Nigerian politics. They are now capitalizing on it. They are telling us, let them be talking while we are taking decision that is going on in their own land. And so, this we have studied, and it is not going to continue forever. We are going forward, because they have to know that the people of Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra, are no longer taking a line low. The same way we descended on the contraption called Nigeria and destroyed it beyond repair, because it is an evil empire. It's the same way we are going to descend on every evil machinations in Biafra land and destroy it, and the people of Biafra will take over the control of their territory. If they apply gutter methodology, we will also going to apply gutter methodology. in order to take over what belongs to us. We are going to use their system and work against them. If they want to be destroyed, we will help them to destroy themselves. And how are we going to do this? We are not going to back away from the civil disobedience method that we have so much perfected. At the same time, we are not going to leave our political office holders, especially those in Biafra land. I am talking about the people of, the Biafran territory. The policies, the political decisions being taken in Biafran territory must be a reflection of the wishes of the people of Biafra. And since we are not going to go into political activities at this particular point in time, we must devise a means of mounting pressure and forcing the hands of those who are in government in Biafra land to do the will of the people, whether they like it or not. That is the only way that we will talk and the international community listens to us. And we have the capacity, we have the number, we are telling them ahead of time, because it's going to happen. From the community level to even religious institutions, to political institutions, to others, our people should be able to stand up for what they believe in. If we can bring the contraption called Nigeria to a standstill, how much more there are baby saboteurs in Biafra land? We must do the needful. Because if we don't fulfill the requirements expected of us within the international law, we may not go too far. And it is very simple and very practical. We have to use what we have to make our conditions better for ourselves and for our children's children. We have no other land to run to. Biafra land is our land, and therefore every decision, every action being taken must be a true reflection of the will of the people of Biafra. Starting from policies, starting from corrupt politicians, we are going to begin to face them. If they resist us, we will resist them. But of course, we are going to be doing it within the confines of the law. The civil disobedience method remains the most tested. And we must also recognize that we have the right to live, and we have the right to defend ourselves against aggression. I don't want to go into this in a greater detail, but there are provisions of the law in both Biafra land, in the zoo called Nigeria, and all over the world, that allows the people who are oppressed to actually stand up and say that they can no longer be oppressed, especially in the heat of aggression, in the heat of total and orchestrated aggression and plot to exterminate us as a people. We must have effective government in Biafra, either directly or by proxy. And since the electoral system is working against us, we must devise another means, indirect means, of making those who are in political office in Biafra land. I'm not talking about the zoo called Nigeria, I'm talking about Biafra land, to dance to the tune of the people of Biafra, and not to the tune of their Arewa Janjaweed masters from the northern part of the zoo called Nigeria. They have to listen to us, or they have to pack away. They have to get out of the way. And it is very simple. continuous pressure, continuous agitation, continuous practical application of ourselves to the cause that we have chosen for ourselves, the ideal of freedom that we are fighting, observing the total preeminence of the rule of law, human rights, and fundamental freedom. It is doable. We have the number, and it is our number that will overwhelm them.
You see?
Look at Scotland.
You see, that is what I'm talking about. We advised these people before in the past. They said, in Nnamdi Kanu, make it clear that anything other than war is going to get Biafra through war. The day he changed strategy, they should kill him. They are going to get Biafra only through war. It's going to be war. I advise these people, look, you can't go back, you can't go to war again. You don't have that capacity to go to war again. What happened to your fathers 50 years ago? Something worse will happen to you. You are not strong. You are coward. Even your father, they are even more ready. They understand war. They understand when you say war more than you now. You are just internet soldiers, internet warriors. You run your mouth. Your forefathers that declared Biafra 50 something years ago, they were in the military. That is the reason why they have the mind to declare Biafra. You guys are nothing. You have not been to war before. What you do is to go to America, go and look for armor cars, take picture with armor cars, begin to deceive your people. You will give them Biafra. What I advise these people to do is what this stupid boy is talking about now. The same thing. Now let me play you another Igbo guy.
Direct number that he provides. In fact, instead of Nnamdi Kanu coming to if religion, religion esere olomunagi, obro Biafra gesere monagi. You understand? Opulona religion esere olomunagi. Obro Biafra yes yamonagi. Makara monagi ibu Igbo. Biologically we are connected. Abumi Igbo, ndu abu Igbo. Now, but because Uchemefo is the deputy leader of IPOB, he cannot openly come out to condemn what he's hearing in Biafra land, in Abia State even in Anambra State. He cannot come and condemn it because he's profiting from the same organization which he is the deputy. Obu nunu na asonso ezioku. Ima okwu nke m na-adị iche. Odogwu ibe m ekenekwa gị onye na-ekwu ma onwe ya. Okwu nke m na-adị iche. So, Uchemefo couldn't come out and condemn it. He condemned the religion. Let me tell you how hypocritical that statement was. Uchemefo condemned the religion because it touched him. Because he is a Catholic. So he mentioned, and everybody knew he was talking to Nnamdi Kanu, who condemned I am also not a Christian. I'm a spiritual person. So Uchemefo condemned Nnamdi Kanu delving into religion. Saying that, leave that thing alone. Nobody should tell anybody what to say. I mean, are you people deaf? But Uchemefo was not bold enough to condemn the killings and the victimizations and beatings that some of our sisters are receiving in Nnamdi Kanu's village and town, for goodness sake. Alaga Abachi, ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ ntị maka afọ na unu asọnsọ eziokwu the same way ụfọdụ ga na-abịa na-defend like religion the same way because IPOB abụlugo untouchable cow, a sacred cow. IPOB abụlugo religion now. By the way, Nnamdi Kanu used to say that IPOB is our Radio Biafra, IPOB is our religion, and Radio Biafra is where we worship. Do you see how they always bring religion? Religion, a keji child. IPOB is our religion, Biafra is our religion, and Radio Biafra is where we worship. That is what he always said. So Uche Mefo was bold enough to condemn Nnamdi Kanu for coming out publicly to condemn Christianity and saying that it is Judaism or Shabbat that is the real one. You see how people are deviating? Uche Mefo was touched. He couldn't bear it anymore. He could not. One day,